Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
I hope you all had an enjoyable Advent season and a Christmas day. I absolutely love Christmas time. I love the anticipation, the celebration, and of course, the reason for the season. The busyness of it all doesn't bother me either, for the most part. Now that Christmas is over, we can all take a big breath of relief, right? Nope, wrong. We know that liturgically, Advent is over and Christmas has just started. Father Tom explained that to all of us on Christmas Eve. The anticipation is over, the season is now, and there still is something we should do and keep doing. Let me back up to 2 days ago, Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve service is my favorite service of the year. It seems that's when our church is the fullest and people sing the hymns, most likely because those are the hymns they know. My favorite part is when we are singing by candlelight. It's solemn, it's beautiful, and there's something about those small lights in the darkness that give me goosebumps every time. For me, Christmas does not happen without the service, because it is a big reflection of a little light that was sent to change the world. Our gospel today took us back much further than Friday night. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. What has come into being in him was life, and the life was the light of all people. The book of Revelation tells us that when this world goes away, a new world comes. God will live among us. And that is our hope and his promise for the future. John tells us that God has already lived among us as Jesus. Although he came to us as a small, frail baby that could be seen and touched, he was fully God, fully human, and the light of the world. That is our reality today. When God sent Jesus to us as a human, it enabled us to fully know him, all of him. Jesus' teaching weren't for our knowledge alone, but for everyone. Over the past several weeks, we have anticipated this moment. We've celebrated his birth. And now we need to go forth and reflect his light for ourselves and for others. Reflecting his light is something that some have a hard time wrapping their head around. Think about the moon. It is a ball of rock and metal covered in lunar dust. It has pits and craters. That description does not sound beautiful at all. However, this past week, we have seen some absolutely beautiful lunar displays that happen many times throughout the year. The thing is, we could only see the beauty of the moon because it reflected the light of the sun. Similarly, sometimes others can only see the beauty of God's love if we reflect the light of his Son. It's been almost 2,000 years since Jesus walked the earth as the light of the world, and God trusts us to reflect that light so that all may know and embrace the glory of God too. In order to know we are reflecting his light, we must do the same thing as when we perceive the moon is reflecting the sun's light. We must be looking at it. That is, we must be looking to God when we want to reflect his light. Being in daily fellowship with Jesus and focusing on the things that are of God is the first step. The next is allowing others to see that light too. For each of us, that reflection may be different. God will work through us differently to reflect his light, and it is truly God's work. To that point, C.S. Lewis said, "Don't shine so others can see you. Shine so that through you, others can see him." We cannot be reminded enough that it is not what we do, but what God does through us. That is important. Our radiation of Jesus' light will manifest itself in love. It's a simple concept, love. If what we are doing and saying is from a place of and showing love, we are reflecting his light. But keep in mind, I didn't say it was easy. I said it was simple. Serving others in this church is simple, and in many cases, it is easy. Serving during worship, praying for each other, participating in one of our outreach opportunities, and things along those lines fit the bill. And truly, there's room for more to help. Being there when someone else is in a dark place, is lost, or doesn't want our help and love is harder. But we still are called to show them God's light and love. What worries me is how easy it is to let the busyness of our lives get in the way of reflecting His light. I understand the demands that life places on us. My hope is that we allow God to guide us to His wishes, and instead of feeling that what God calls us to do is a burden, we experience the joy that it truly is. I'm going to challenge us to actively look for those opportunities when God puts someone or something in our path to serve, directly or indirectly, easily or with more effort. And when that service is done, we find the next opportunity. Let's spend this coming year looking for ways to thrive in our relationship with God and each other. God's light will never extinguish, so our reflection of it shouldn't either. Amen.
Amen.